NAB's most wanted human trafficker. And in Panorama this afternoon, focus is on matters arising from shifting governorship and state assembly elections to March 18. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us on Panorama from the Benin Network Center of the NTA. I am Agatha Egware Ojo. You're welcome. A quick reminder that you can follow this news live on our social media handles displayed on the screen. Now, March 11 every year is the day set aside as World Plumbing Day. The World Plumbing Community established the day in 2010 to create awareness on vital roles in promoting the link between good quality plumbing, health, environmental sustainability, and increasingly economic prosperity. Now fixture on the calendars of political and social institutions around the globe, the World Plumbing Day is to avail people from within and outside the plumbing community to come together to learn and share knowledge, as well as build connections and find opportunities to improve the quality and access to fresh water and safe sanitation. Now, Minister for Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, has inspected a 54-kilometer road under construction along Kirfi-Gombe Road. Maria Mubala reports that the project is expected to be completed in 12 months.
The 54-kilometer Kirfi-Gombe Road is one of the federal government road projects approved by the Federal Executive Council for construction in the northeastern states of Adamawa, Yobe, Bauchi, and Gombe. Inspecting the project, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, says the road is instrumental to the present administration, and when completed, it will open up more business opportunities, as well as ease movements of goods and services.
This project is among the 4 projects that were executed in the
Site engineer assures of completing the 54-kilometer Kirfi-Gombe Road within the stipulated period of 12 months. In Bauchi, Maria Mubala, NTA News.
This year's national head count is sacrosanct as arrangements to deliver credible census data are on course. This formed the major discuss at the handover of census equipment by the United Nations Population Fund to the National Population Commission in Abuja. Olusheye Adiagbo reports.
Many people will also ask, why are we not communicating broadly? We are waiting for the governor elections to be over.
It's irrespective of the date, the census by the date of 2023.
The 2023 census is coming 17 years after the last exercise, and the National Population Commission, the agency driving the project, has assured that the digitization of the head count will make the process transparent and credible. These census planners are finalizing preparations, and this is consolidated with the latest delivery of 16 model laptops of high-performance configuration.
I wish to assure that these laptops will be put to effective use towards the execution of the census agenda. It is my firm belief that the 2023 post-election survey will live up to its tagline by making the census count.
That when we talk about the Sustainable Development Goals, when we talk about leaving no one behind, the sheer size of Nigeria means that not only will Nigeria not deliver its own development plans if we do not deliver the census, it's the foundational data set for good development.
For the UNFPA Nigeria, the agency is actively involved in the census programs and its processes, emphasizing that the equipment is to be used for the post-remuneration survey, PS, an exercise that will validate the census outcome. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Edo State Police Command has arrested a 5-man robbery syndicate which specializes in defrauding victims of their savings by promising to make them rich without human blood. The police public relations officer, SP Chidi Wabuzo, disclosed this while briefing journalists at the State Command's headquarters. Jude Abugu has details.
The suspects the PPRA explained are members of the 5-man gang that Lord Wan Shitu Hazil all the way from Yenogwa to Igara in Edo State through Facebook, but attacked and dispossessed him of his ATM card and PIN when he arrived in Igara.
Some group of boys opened an account on Facebook using the social media, claiming to be native doctors, that they can make people rich without involving any means of blood covenant, blood rituals.
The PPRO further stated that one of the suspects was intercepted along Igara Ibilo Road while going to withdraw money from the victim's account. Others, he said, were arrested in Auchi on Wednesday.
Similarly, the same gang members was able to reach one Sunday through the Facebook email and the publication advertisement that they will make him rich without blood ritual. He actually became interested and moved all the way from Port Harcourt, River State, down to Igala in Edo State. He was equally received, taken to the forest, and they used cutlass on him.
The command is assuring the people of the state of its commitment to ridding the state of crimes and criminality. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTN News.
The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, in collaboration with the Department of State Services, Federal Ministry of Justice and the Italian authorities, has successfully extradited one of Italy's most wanted criminals, Charity Omowi, also known as Jeff Joy. A statement by the agency's press officer Vincent Adekoye revealed that a judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal in Italy in June 2022 convicted and sentenced Omowi to 13 years imprisonment in absentia for human trafficking, exploitation for prostitution, slavery, as well as aiding and abetting illegal migration. Omowi, a 54-year-old Nigerian from Edo State, fled to Nigeria when a warrant for her arrest was issued and she was put on Interpol Red Notice. Omowi's extradition to Italy on the 8th of March 2023 after her arraignment before Honorable Justice Binta Yako was facilitated by Article 12 of the extradition treaty between the government of Italy and Nigeria, signed in Rome in November 2016. Director General of NAPTIP, Professor Fatima Waziri Azi, who expressed satisfaction with the process that led to the arrest and eventual extradition of the traffickers, said the agency will continue to partner with all concerned in the fight against human trafficking in Nigeria and other parts of the world. Now, stakeholders are calling for increased commitment to build capacity and promote active participation of women at the judiciary level to achieve equality. Now, this is as the world celebrates female judges who they say are in the forefront in the fight against social injustice. In most cases, they are first wives, mothers, and then judges, combining 3 different cumbersome roles but still create a balance as they mount the courts administering justice for a fair society. In Edo State, 17 women, though quietly, are making a mark in this area, contributing to the growth of society. They are seen as fearless, handing down sound judgments.
We have more female judges. The female judges, they are wonderful. In short, all the matters are accelerated, and also, they look at it with the eyes of the law, the eyes of compassion, and and their dominion. Whenever they are handling their matters, you'll be very, very pleased with them.
I've been to several courts where I go to give electronic evidence, where women are the judges, many occasions, and Most times when I just enter the door, they just like, "Hi, Mr. Journalist, can you please take your seat?" With heavy cursing.
Gladys is a young lawyer practicing for a little above a year now. She looks forward to the day she will also take on not just the title, but full responsibilities of honorable justice.
One of the things I have noticed about them is they are very effective. They try to be attentive, no reasons to prolong most of the matters. And most of them, in giving their judgments, they try to weigh both sides.
As they mark the day, these Nigerians want them to sustain fight against child abuse, domestic violence, and gender-based discriminations in whatever form.
I want them to continue to have that boldness, that courage, that they can do it and they would continue to do it.
This year, with the campaign Women in Justice, Women for Justice, is the United Nations way of celebrating progress made by these women whose presence in the judiciary enhances women's role in decision-making.
Panorama continues after this break. Stay with us.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Thank you for staying on. The rescheduling of governorship and state assembly elections to enable INEC reconfigure beavers for the elections has thrown up new debates on the reliability, acceptability, and the essence of beavers reconfiguration. Some analysts in Edo State spoke on this and other matters arising from the rescheduling of the elections. Judah Bugu now reports.
The rescheduling of the election, as explained by INEC in a press release, was to enable it to have ample time to reconfigure the beavers in all the 774 local government areas of the country. This became imperative since the appeal court's judgment granting its request on beavers configuration came barely 2 days to the initial date for governorship and state assembly elections. While hoping that this will not affect data crucial to presidential election litigations, some Nigerians are, however, not convinced that the beavers machines need to be configured before they can be used for the governorship and state assembly elections.
The beavers machine is a very technical object, and the primary custodian of it is the INEC, and the people who are going to do the reconfiguring is the INEC. Now, who is guaranteeing the expert technical persons that will be with INEC, that will be transparent, that can be trusted by Nigerians, to be people who will not tamper with the data in the machine?
Others are, however, of the view that the Commission is acting in good faith and within its constitutional powers.
If INEC so deserve, so wish, I will sort the region from court and choose to go on to say, oh, they want to go and they want to reconfigure beavers to meet up their expectation, to meet up what they so wish for. Then it is the duty of INEC to go ahead and do what they have to do.
People should come to equity with clean hands. They should not be parochial, sentimental, or preemptive into any action.
The rescheduling of the elections has equally extended the campaign period for candidates contesting for governorship and state assembly positions.
We have already geared our minds towards voting by Saturday. This means we'll have to reschedule whatever program of events that we have lined up for this weekend.
As are expecting that INEC will also use the 1-week extension to address glitches and other setbacks suffered during the presidential and national assembly polls. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
To discuss more on issues or matters arising leading to the rescheduled governorship and assembly elections is a legal practitioner and public affairs analyst, Greg Iyayi. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us on Panorama.
Good afternoon, viewers.
All right. Now, mixed feelings have continued to trail the postponement of governorship and state assembly elections. What's your reaction to the shift in date to March 18?
Well, the shifting date is within the ambit of the law. So there is nothing outside the law concerning it. But our concern is that the enthusiasm of people, will it be sustained up to that day? And then also, people are beginning to wonder whether INEC will actually take advantage of the shifting dates to correct some of the anomalies that were witnessed. Logistics problem, people not arriving on time, then some parties' names and logos being missing on the ballots papers. So these are things that people are worried about, that will they use this opportunity to actually address these issues that threw themselves up and cast some clouds on the last election, the presidential election. So that is the area of worry in it.
So what do you think INEC can do to, erase these issues of doubt, that are being raised up now because of these issues of beavers and then shifting the governorship elections and assembly elections too?
You see, like we've always said, trust is earned. Nobody dashes you trust. It's never given nudum pactum. You earn the trust of the people. There's a trust deficit between INEC and Nigerians. And I'm afraid, really afraid, that INEC has to do extra work to restore the trust of the Nigerians. And we are talking about beavers. Much money was expended on the beavers. The design was by a Nigerian. It's Nigerian technology to our credit. And are you going to use the beavers the way you are telling Nigerians you will use it? Nigerians are not after excuses, because there were excuses, there were problems, there were technical problems. But if there were technical problems, all right. But were those problems not human? If those problems are human, Nigerians will find it very, very difficult, to believe that the issue of configuration and who is going to be an umpire there to ensure that the configuration is going to be free, fair to all the candidates. So these are the issues that have come up, that it was not just a technical problem, but it was possibly a human problem. The human interference in it is what Nigerians are worried about. So people were ready to give airtime, power generators and all that, if it was just a technical problem. But INEC has to work extra hard, to convince Nigerians that they are actually an umpire. And as an umpire, they have no vested interest in the outcome of the election, but only in the transparency of the process.
Okay, earlier you talked about sustaining enthusiasm of the people, before March 18. But this is an election that is way much, will I say, closer to the people.
This election, to me, the presidential election is very important. But this is, to me, even more important to Nigerians, because let's look at it. The governors are nearer us than the president. Yeah. And then the House of Assembly members are also nearer us than the National Assembly members. You see, every politics, like people always say, is local. And this is local politics. And we are all involved in it, because we all live in an area. That area is going to have representatives. We all live in a state. We are Nigerians, but we come from states. And the governors are there. They are like our little president. I think this is why I appeal to every Nigerian to make sure that they come out and vote massively. Even those who didn't come out in the presidential election, come out, because the National Assembly, the State Assembly members are going to make laws that will regulate the school our children go to, our hospitals, our marketplaces, even our places of worship. So the things that touch us fundamentally, directly. So that is why we should be very concerned about the people that go to the state assemblies, because they will make laws that directly impact on our day-to-day living. So we shouldn't look at it as a joking issue. It's an issue that all of us should be interested in, because if we don't vote and the wrong people go there, then we cannot be seen or heard to be complaining. So let us go out and be part of the process. I know that there is a lot of discouragement, but let us go like we did in the presidential election and even more. And I would like to say to the youths, you went out. People said you don't have PVC. You proved that you have PVC. People said on that day you'd be going to play football. You didn't play football that day. People said you were going to be violent. You conducted yourself very impressively. A plus for us. Youths go out and vote. Women go out and vote. Men, old women, let us go out and vote, because whether we like it or not, if the people we do not vote for, make laws, whether we like it or not, they will affect us.
Okay, so as we look forward to March 18, what are your expectations?
My expectation is that the election will be better, much better than we saw in the presidential election, and that the outcome, with the appeal we are making, that the outcome will be far, far more impressive.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Greg Iyayi, for your time on Panorama. Thank you so much. All right, moving on now. Amidst the uncertainty in cash transactions, business owners in Ado, the Ekiti state capital, have appealed to the Central Bank of Nigeria, that's the CBN, to give clear-cut directives to commercial banks in the issuance of old Naira notes in view of the recent judgment of the Supreme Court. Olukemi Sani reports visited major centers of commerce in the town and reports that many are still rejecting the old Naira notes.
Welcome to Ojoba Market, the commercial now center of Ado Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital. Huge buying and selling of various commodities and items. But we wonder which of the currencies are acceptable here, the old or the new Naira notes.
The people should announce it, make it known to everybody that this Naira should be spendable. Because we have the money, so that we don't have it here, so everybody are not collecting it. Please, look at it.
As we get some traders that are not accepting the old currencies, Kenneth here, who sells cosmetics, accepts both old and new currency. Why do you accept the old currency?
I accept it because of there is no markets and there is no cash on town. And to come to the transfer, if they want to do transfer, network will know okay. Instead of hungry to kill us, so I accept it because of there's no cash.
Ariola Oloroje is a popular trader in Ojoba Market. She accepts only the new Naira notes.
It's only new Naira note that they accept in bank. The old notes, we took it to bank yesterday, they didn't accept it.
I have here Peter, who is ready to collect both the old and the new Naira notes.
The news told me that I should be collecting it. That's why I decided to collect the money.
Same Ojoba Market, where Peter collects both the old and the new Naira notes. Felix Ineji, who sells second-hand clothing, says he doesn't collect the old Naira notes.
If I collect it and if I take it to the bank will not welcome it. They will not collect it. That's just what we are suffering now. Even the queue in the bar will not even give you access to enter.
What is the implication of the current situation where two currencies are legal tender, but at the same time, Nigerians are not sure which to collect?
Central Bank, Supreme Court has made the pronouncement. The President has not said anything specific. No pronouncement from Central Bank. That's why people are confused. So let's wait till that particular monetary policy committee we meet. And then Central Bank will now table the pronouncement of Supreme before their board. So by that time, maybe they are going to comply. And then now, everybody will know that this currency remains a legal tender.
One thing is certain in Ojoba market. Both the old and new notes are acceptable depending on whose store you are and which commodities you are buying. In Ado Ekiti, Olukemi Sonny, NTA News.
Thank you, Olukemi. And time now to join our sports desk for the latest in the world of sports.
We begin with football. After a podium finish of third place against Tunisia at the 2023 Under-20 African Nations Cup in Egypt on Friday, the Nigeria Under-20 head coach Ladan Bosso says he's optimistic of an improved team with a focus that will represent Nigeria at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia.
We need a lot of matches, that is the quarter, the semi-finals of this one, to prepare a World Cup team. We expect that maybe 60% of them will be maintained, and maybe we look for outsiders and maybe some foreign players and some grassroots players that are committed and want to make them. We just inject into this team so that they will be better performance in the World Cup.
The seven-time African champions defeated Tunisia 4-0 in the Nations Cup third-place match at the Cairo International Stadium, Egypt. In the same vein, Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dare has congratulated the Flying Eagles for their resilient third-place finish at the CAF Under-20 AFCON in Egypt. The sports minister described the bronze medal title as better than nothing as he urged the team to use the experience at the tournament to prepare for the World Cup. Nigeria will now join Senegal, Gambia and Tunisia as African countries at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup set to begin in May this year in Indonesia. Meanwhile, in today's English Premier League games, Baltimore, who are down the table, will face Liverpool on 42 points, while Leeds tackle Brighton as Everton challenge Bedford. Chelsea takes on Leicester City, Tottenham Hotspur will face Nottingham Forest, while Crystal Palace will face Manchester City, who are second on the table with 58 points. And finally, to tennis, Britain's Cameron Norrie has continued his impressive form at the 2023 Indian Wells tournament with a straight-set victory of 6-2, 6-4 against Chinese Tolly Wu to reach the third round of the competition. Norrie, the world number 12, will now meet Italian Matteo Berrettini or Japanese Taro Daniel in the third round of the competition. With sports updates, Peter Oibo, NTA News.
And that's a wrap on Panorama from Benin. Thank you for watching. Remember, join NTA in the campaign against drug abuse. Have a pleasant day.